What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build. Once again, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, and comment down below where your favorite place to land has been so far in Chapter 4, Season 2. Not really sure where I want to go with this game because Mega will probably be pretty populated, but I feel like it takes a really long time for those fights to play out, and they could just be very much kind of like a cat and mouse game of people being passive on top of buildings, around corners, just hiding in those buildings. I think I went brutal with last week's spectating video. Maybe we'll go anvil, maybe we'll go frenzy. Could go shattered, but I feel like not very many people go there. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of how this season goes. If you don't land at a vault location, it could be kind of weird to find anybody sometimes. Some of these newer POIs are often contested. Let's go Steamy Springs. One of the nice things about these new biomes is that there's a lot of sword racks, which are guaranteed spawns for the katana, which are very nice. And they're there every game. Like I said, they're guaranteed. It might change in the future. I could see Epic nerfing the katana spawn rate because, you know, Epic does things like that. But I think this Kenjutsu Crossing POI has like more sword spawns than anywhere else. So if you're playing squads and you just want to make sure everybody on your team gets a sword, start of the match, Kenjutsu Crossing probably is your place, and then you're probably going to want to rotate towards Mega City and hopefully clean up that vault. We'll see if the player that we end up spectating does that this game or not. Holy, this man's glider is loud in my ear. Let me mantle, please, game. Bro, I can't even get into this place. There we go. But yeah, there's going to be several like sword racks in this building that are guaranteed spawn of swords. Let's go. We're on board here with Egg Mercs. This player is actually a decent player. This should be a good person to spectate. I've fought this person several times, and it's usually like a solid fight. They hear this person in the building with them. They're going to be looking for this kill. I think the person is underneath. Unfortunately, they don't have a sword yet. But since it's solos, it's probably not really something they have to be too worried about, because I think there is a lot of spawns for it in this building. I also chose to not pick up my crown for whatever reason. Maybe they already have one. But you can only carry one sword at a time, so it's not like they really have to worry about this player just leaving with all the swords. So they can kind of play this slow and just wait this person out. Seems like that's what they're going to do. This person down there farming, it's probably a drone though, because they're just pickaxing the wall. Yeah. I'm not really sure why he's running from this person. I guess he doesn't want to have the close range fight. He doesn't have a shotgun. That's probably what it is. Could use this keg for shield, but I think he's just more concerned about getting away from this fight because he doesn't have a shotgun and only has 7 SMG ammo. And this is probably an L right here. Yeah, GG's. There's not really much I could do there. No shotgun, no SMG bullets. I do think the twin mag can out DPS enemies with like the combat shotgun sometimes, but when you don't have ammo, there's not really much you could do. Probably should have moved on from that building sooner. Like, they were kind of waiting on the building, but they couldn't fight the close range fight when this person pushed them, so it just really was not a good fight for them whatsoever. Not really sure what this player is doing with their inventory. They have a combat shotgun and a havoc shotgun. They didn't pick up that SMG. They didn't pick up the red eye from the other player. They just need a katana and a shotgun. They don't care about anything else. We'll see if they go for this red eye here. Okay, they do. There was an SMG on the person they killed. I'm not really sure why they didn't go for that, but it is what it is. Okay, now they're gonna get it. I would drop one of those stacks of minis for it. Some people don't like having 3 weapons, and that's fine, but I feel like if you are gonna run double heals, like double mini really isn't that significant. Player is probably just gonna finish looting, and then see, those are the sword racks I was talking about on the other side of the wall there. There's just like several of them amongst this building. It's really good. Just guaranteed spot for swords, and there's a lot of places like that in this biome. In the last Inside the Mine video I made, I talked about this POI where there's a sword rack up top, and then there's 2 more at the bottom here. Just like a majority of the buildings in this new biome have sword racks, and this player's gonna go for the egg. These heal you, and then they also give you the 0 gravity effect. He's actually gonna carry this. Interesting. I haven't really seen anybody actually utilize these for the 0 gravity effect. These gold eggs just gives you gold, which this player can actually use. They only have 900 gold. An enemy coming up here probably in hopes to get a sword, maybe. This guy's gonna bait it. He has left shoulder peek on this, so it'd be better if he was standing on the other side of the bridge, because he could shoot without exposing as much of his character. But since he had to peek from the left with where he was, he would have had to expose a lot of his character to get shots off. It's just a zero gravity effect of the Ike. I don't really utilize that too much. I feel like you're very much an easy target in the air like that. But it doesn't matter. This should be a kill. He 170'd that person. Should be an easy cleanup with the... Oh, well, they didn't take the AR. Now it gets weird. This should still be a kill. Okay. But if they had taken that red eye, imagine how much easier that fight would have been for them. Like, they could have just sat on that cliff there and AR'd the person, and, like, it would have been fine. They would have been back to the lobby. But it gets awkward when you only have a shotgun and an SMG in zero build. And like I said already, it's not like 2 minis are really benefiting you. I think there was some slap juice back there. I would rather have that than 2 stacks of minis. I feel like the 2 stacks of minis is just not it. Seems like he is intent on going to Mega City and cleaning that up though, which is nice. But like I was already saying at the start of the video, I feel like Mega City is just a weird POI because there's a lot of people that go here, but they're really not that densely packed because of how large the POI is. So you might have like a person hiding in each like skyscraper doing who knows what, you know? Just waiting for the boss to spawn, and then you're getting shot from like several directions once you try to fight them to get the key card. Rolling augments here, but they don't have much gold to roll augments. They sneaking into Mega City. I wonder if this person picked up my crown. I wasn't paying attention with the kill they just got. Because I don't think the person that killed me picked up the crown. And also, like, wasn't paying attention when they eliminated them if there was a crown on their body or not. Person zipping up. This should be a kill. This person's aim has actually been decent. Like, some of their decision making is kind of questionable to me sometimes, but like their aim is quite good. And they know to shoot the twin mag. I still get asked about this a bunch with the twin mag SMG, why I shoot it sometimes randomly just to reload it. And that's because the twin mag reloads fast every other reload. So when you take it out, you'll see 2 magazines next to your reticle. If both magazines are lit up, then you will reload fast. If only one magazine is lit up, you'll reload at a normal rate. And so it's ideal to be on the fast reload when you're about to get into a fight. I'm not really sure what this person is doing. He was like pushing this guy, but this guy was like, I feel like pretty obviously gonna push the drones. Wait, is that the boss one right there on the ground? I think the boss character was just on the ground next to him. Like knocked. Like he probably could have just thirsted them, taken the key card and opened the vault, but this, yeah, that is the boss right there. Don't know where this other guy is, so that's what I was talking about. There's the other player. I don't know if that's the one that initially sniped the boss though. But it just gets really weird trying to like deal with the boss character here because like it's always like with any vault location, there's always ratty people there. But it's even worse in Mega City just because of how large the POI is and how vertical the POI is. Like you would see that should be an easy kill there, but like they still almost die as a result because the player across was shooting at them. So I prefer to go Shattered or Brutal for the vault. It's just easier to like deal with the people there, I feel like. There's just less spots to clear, less spots for the players to hide. They did eliminate the person they were fighting though. Like I said, their aim has been pretty solid. It's just at least one other player here. The person that was across was shooting at them, but that person also didn't seem to be the most active. Like, I think they could just take this key card and go open the vault if they wanted to. Someone actually did take the key card. So the key card shows on the minimap and it was just moving around. And so the other person is in the vault. And it seems like he knows that. I would just ignore this drone here. Oh, this is rough. Dang, GG's. But yeah, that is one thing to definitely keep in mind if you're fighting at one of these vault areas is as soon as you see the key card on the move, you know that like not only does that person have the key card and you know exactly where they are, but you also know where they're going. Like people don't just like hanging out with the key card in their inventory. Usually they're going to take it and then go open the vault. What? Is this person going for the combat over the mythic pump? That is not it in my opinion, especially if you're going to use an SMG anyways. I feel like if you're going to use a spray weapon, you might as well take the pump. Okay, he's down for it. Like, one of the nice things about the Combat or the Maven would be that you don't need to carry a spray weapon, so you kind of free up some room in your inventory. But if you're going to be carrying a spray weapon anyways, I feel like you definitely want the pump. Even if your aim isn't the best, just the potential is so high on it. And I think it's worth developing that skill. If you're a Fortnite player, being good with the pump shotgun is like a pretty integral skill in the game. Like, the pumps have pretty much always been the meta when they're good. There have been some seasons where the pumps weren't very good. Like, for some of Chapter 3, the Striker pump wasn't the best. But more often than not, the pump shotguns are the better shotguns. This lobby is really dead already. We are going into third zone, and there's 12 opponents remaining for this player. I've talked about this several times, but if you're at this point in the game, the island spawns fourth zone. It typically spawns middle of the map. There is a spawn for it over here somewhere, which it might actually end up going to this game. I would imagine this game it's going to go here. We'll see what it does. But there's set spawns for the island, and I feel like once you're getting close to fourth zone, you just want to maximize how many island spawns you're close to. But I think with this zone, it's definitely going to go over there. And so if I was in this match, I would kind of position myself over here. That way, if it's this one, we can get to it in time. If there's any over here that it ends up going to, we can get to it in time. I don't think there's any that are over here that are in zone, though. I think it has to be the spawn over here. But we'll see in a few seconds. 58 seconds. The island will spawn. Not really sure what this player is doing. I don't really think they are either. I think they're just kind of driving around the map looking for something to do. That's just kind of the nature of the game right now with how dead these lobbies can be. There's a player up here. We'll see if they start fighting that. But it's kind of the nature of how these lobbies can be. It'll be a large zone with not very many people left alive, and then at that point there's not much to do. He's being aggro on this kill though. I like to see that. It is really good loot. Like, it's a mythic pump and a gold SMG. Like, I would be very confident taking close range fights with this setup. W. And that kind of shows what I was talking about earlier in the video when I said the player we were spectating was peeking from the left when they were by that bridge and how it wasn't ideal. That right shoulder peek right there just, like, instantly deletes the other player. Okay, so he's going to lose this fight. He needed to swap. And I do have an entire video about close range fighting this season. But I think Thunder Pump and then a spray weapon is definitely the meta. Like I talked about, the island is spawning over here. I was right. But when you don't hit a good shotgun shot, I don't think you just want to stick on the shotgun. I think if you miss your first shotgun shot or it's just bad, swap to your spray weapon and then try to get like 100, 150-ish damage on them with your spray weapon and then swap back to your shotgun. That's one of the reasons why I've switched to cumulative numbers this season, is because if my first pump shot is underwhelming, I want to get the opponent to like roughly 100 or so HP and then swap back to it. Just because the swapping on it isn't as great as a Thunder. I feel like I typically don't want to be shooting several, or like swapping back and forth several times during a fight. I feel like ideally, you want to open with a good pump and then just like hopefully switch your spray and be able to kill them quickly after spraying. And then if your first pump isn't good, swap to the spray, get good damage on them with the spray, and then go back to the pump for the finishing blow, hopefully. There's 6 opponents remaining for this player. They don't seem too intent on getting the island, though, because a decent amount of time has already passed. Which, it's fine. It's not like you... The pulse rifle isn't needed. I just think it's incredibly overpowered, and typically you're going to fight the better players on the island anyway. So, like, if you look at, like, what's going on in this game right now, this player is kind of just wandering around, probably looking for something to do or somebody to fight. There's a person right there. There should be an easy snipe kill. GG's. But even if you don't ever want to use the pulse rifle in your life, it's just something to do with these zones because of how dead they are. And I do think it would fit great into this player's loadout. Like, sniper, shotgun, pulse rifle. Like, I think that would be excellent. If you do want to snipe, I feel like that's the ideal way to go. The tactical pistol is fine too, but like the pulse rifle is just a ridiculous weapon. It's currently 4 opponents remaining, and this is how large the zone is. That's kind of crazy. And then, even like I said before, like you get there, you can fight people, you can get the pulse rifle, you get a refresh on slurps, which is nice. And then also, with this zone, you have a nice position of advantage to like look over the rest of the lobby. And I feel like when the game is really dead like this, just running around looking for people aimlessly is not in your best interest, because a lot of people are just going to be hiding, and if you're a decent player, like, the only way you're really going to lose to them is if they catch you off guard, you know? And then also, the zone is so large for so few people that, like, running around, I feel like isn't even good odds of finding anybody. I feel like you're better off just, like, getting somewhere to where you can see, like, a vast amount of the area, and then you look from there. But that's just kind of, that's just the nature of how the game is this season with how these zones are. And now, not being the player that doesn't control the island, he might have to fight against somebody who has the pulse rifle. He doesn't have slurps in his inventory, and then also the person might have, like, decent position of advantage on the island. You can look at the pole. If he had sniped towards the pole, we could see if it's been captured or not. I think it is captured. I don't know if the ring is supposed to be at the top already, but the flag thing would be like a dead giveaway on whether or not someone's captured it already, and then that would give you a good idea of what to expect. Or I think, yeah, okay, it is captured. It has a check mark on it. So yeah, someone definitely has captured it. Doesn't seem like they're still up there unless they're ratting, though. Like, he looked towards the top of the house and didn't really see anything. There's just nothing going on right now. Like, you don't even hear any shots. You don't hear anything. Maybe they're going to try to get on top of one of the skyscrapers at Mega City and see if they could see anything from there. Not a bad choice. Like, there's not really, you know, much to do with this zone. I'm going to look through that loot. I don't think there's really anything they want, though. With how their loadout is, I'd imagine the only thing they would really want is a gold tactical pistol. Because I believe the player they eliminated on top of Slappy had the mythic AR, right? So if he wanted the Havoc AR, he probably would have taken it then. Someone just rifted from Island. He should be looking behind him here, I think. Because that person just rifted in the sky. It's not like he has the best loot to shoot somebody out of the sky anyways, though. Like, the tactical pistol can be fine, but it's unlikely. Or if he's just, like, God and hits the snipe. He does have the augment to give him 2 sniper bullets. If you like sniping, I think that's probably the best augment in the game right now. Definitely one of the best. If he's okay, this should be easy cleanup for him here with the sniper and 2 bullets in mag. If he's decent at sniping at all, which I'd imagine he is. If he's like just committed to running it. Maybe not as much anymore. And that is the player who has the pulse rifle. That's it. So that's a good kill to get. Still, no one has died since they like sniped that drone in that house. This is crazy. What I personally would like to see is, like, they're probably not going to put zones back to how they were, right? But what I would like to see is if, like, the game had, like, a certain player threshold that there should be per zone. And then if a lobby is, like, significantly under that, then maybe, like, cut down some of the timer. So it's not like every zone would be moving faster. But, like, let's say third zone is supposed to have, like, I don't know, 20 people, for example. And it has, like, 8. Then make it go much faster. Because there's just been a lot of waiting involved in these games. And I myself have experienced it. I've seen a lot of other players talk about it. Not really sure what he's doing here. I would be very concerned about using the splashes. And he's dead. GG's. I'm not really sure why he walked in front of that other player there before splashing. Because, I mean, maybe he was worried about getting shot from the back. But, like, it hadn't happened yet. I feel like he just splashed. Like, what he did there was, like, the one way this player could end up eliminating him. And now this player got a huge upgrade for their inventory. They can get the Mythic Havoc Pump. And that's probably it. But, like, going from green to Mythic Pump is a pretty significant upgrade. This player also doesn't have any legendary slurp juices. Someone just got sniped underneath. I think it's an NPC that got sniped because they just got sniped and then started shooting the red eye, and I don't really understand what's going on here. So if I was this player, I'd be more concerned about the person sniping than the person getting sniped. And they seem to be under. They had a close range fight. It said that player shotgun, so I think the sniper is maybe under there. Unless the sniper was on one of the buildings to the left, and then there was like a different player sitting in this building. It's a 1v1v1. This player has the WWE Championship belt. Let's see if they end up getting this crown win. Glider redeploying Katana can be nice for mobility, but you have very, very limited horizontal movement, so that's why I don't like using it. I feel like if you're trying... If anybody decent was, like, in this building and paying attention to him, he just gets, like, beamed there. and then maybe they don't die out of the sky, but that like becomes a situation where that other player has a much easier time eliminating them. So I just don't like glider redeploy for that reason. The person is sniping in here. He's in the bottom of that like garage to the left. Do you see the sniper glint? It doesn't seem like the player we're spectating is aware of it. They are, however, moving in a way that makes them harder to snipe. You know, they're constantly jumping, they're crouching every now and then, they're sliding. But the more they kind of hold still and pre-aim things, yeah, like this player is probably going to take a shot. And that's one habit that you can just kind of tell someone's been playing Fortnite for a while. It's just like the random jumping and like crouching while walking around the map. Because snipers have been lethal for most of Fortnite. Like I know for a lot of zero build players who like started playing when zero build was added, the snipers are like a somewhat recent addition to the game somewhat. You know, we've only had chapter 3 season 4 and this season where there's just like one-hit snipers constantly in the game. But for a lot of Fortnite, one-hit snipers were just a part of the game, so I feel like anybody who's been playing for a while is kind of used to that just like sporadic movement when nothing is going on, just in case. I don't think this fight is great. I mean, the person sniping at him doesn't seem like the best, but I feel like taking a fight like this versus a sniper isn't the best. Okay, now you push on this. I would push on this if I was him. Doesn't seem like he's going to, and I guess he doesn't necessarily need to because zone is going to force this player out. But with the legendary slurp juice in the game, that player he just tagged can regenerate health very, very, very quickly. And so if I just cracked shield like that, I would rather just get them out of the game. But just having a prolonged AR fight versus a sniper is like very risky. At any point, they can just one-hit you. And now that person gets into that building and survives, and all that damage he had was lost. Which I think, personally, if he pushes that, he's a mythic pump. He should be able to easily clean up that kill. And he's just worried about the other player potentially third partying. But I feel like the fact that they just had that fight where both of them were shooting for a long time out in the open and the other player didn't third party it is kind of like, I would imagine the last player in this game is a bot or something. That happens quite a bit this season with how slow the games are. And if the person was going to third party, I feel like they would have already third partied at this point. So I would have been pretty confident making that push. And I think closing out fights when you can is like super important this season with how many good healing items. Mainly just how good the slurp juice is. He ends up getting the kill anyways. And he gets third party because of it. That's unfortunate. That's tragic. I said it wouldn't happen, but I mean, it did happen. But either way, I feel like if he did kind of push into the garage there, he might have been able to get the kill faster while being more isolated from the third party. But like waiting until the zone was this small probably wasn't the best bet. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys found it helpful and informative. If you did, remember to give a like, subscribe if you like some more, comment down below where your favorite place to land has been so far this season. And like I said, it's just, I feel like that bit of hesitation on that push probably cost that player the game. Because if he, where were they at? Like imagine he pushes this, kills the sniper, and then just kind of zip lines to the top of this building and has eyes all over zone. I feel like that's much more of a playable situation than having a fight in the field and then getting third partied from wherever. But it is what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.